schools, feeding into Wright Middle School, which this district has neglected as far as I'm concerned, as it relates to the educational program. Wright Middle School is one of the most beautiful middle schools that we have in the city, in a beautiful residential neighborhood, and we have not done right by Wright Middle School. Also, I want to talk to you about the charter school that is on that site presently. Wish is a very good charter school. I've looked at its records. I've walked their part of the Wright Middle School. I've looked in their classroom. I'm extremely pleased about their integrated approach to education. The special education children are not over here. They're integrated into the program. And both the students and the adults take responsibility for those students. And so I want to do right by them. I have not been involved in the controversy between charters and the district because all of the children belong to us. And it is too bad that we're engaged in this controversy and not looking at what's the best education for all children. And charters are a choice, and I believe in choices for parents. And then there is the adult education. You have not been engaged in the controversy that I've been engaged in the last 6 weeks as it relates to the community college and the 5 other school districts that are engaged in adult ed. Adult education is important for this school district. It is important because it is about our parents. It is about our parents that need citizenship. It is about our parents that want to learn English. It is about the beginnings of career education in transitioning onto the community college. For whatever reason, the school district several years ago shut down adult education. In doing that, that became the year that the state looked at funding adult education. What our problem is now, we do not have adequate money, and by the way, this is the only district in the state that continued adult education when the state didn't fund it. Adult education is an integral part. I can tell you that there were 28,000 plus high school students that were engaged in credit recovery in adult education last year. I know how that started because when I was superintendent before and I reconstituted Fremont High School and we were going door to door to get dropouts back into the school, I'll tell you the story about this young man, a senior that had been doing well, and I said, why are you not in school? My mom and dad have a store. They had to lay off their worker. I now stock the store for my mom and dad. At first I thought I could do it before school and after school. And then I started cutting class, and then I was doing it during school, and then I just got so far behind. I said, do you want to finish? You're a senior. Yes. So I took that young man down to adult education, and I said, I want him enrolled. He can come after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. He's very close to graduating. And out of that was born in this district credit recovery for high school students that because they were married, because they were the sole support of their family, because they had children of their own, that we helped them get their high school diploma. So this is a complex issue that I'm bringing to you because it deals with a wonderful school that has a wonderful leader and has wonderful parent support, but is growing. And I want to help them in that growth. The district is at fault with Wright Middle School because we've neglected it. It does have a good program. I've been in those classrooms. I do believe that there needs to be some upgrading in the science labs, etc. I do believe that the arts program needs to be strengthened at that particular school. Because I can tell you that people from Playa Vista and the other elementaries generally do not go to Wright. Now they blame it on the program, and part of it is true. But there is a path at Wright with a good principal, and this district has not been as supported and as it should be. Also, I'm going to say it the way it is. There are children that look like me, that have brown skin and have black skin, but they are not middle class. And so we don't talk about it much. It is a type of racism which is classic. It's a classic situation because they're not in the same class we are. And we as a district have got to recognize that some of those children that may not come from the kind of neighborhood that I was raised in are just as talented, just as gifted as any one of us. But they need the direction, the support, and caring of this district. Emerson is the adult education center, about 6 blocks down from Wright Middle School. I have walked that campus with the staff also. I believe that it is the best place for the Wish Charter School. I think that we need to do some climate control. I've walked what is now a parking lot. It is not safe for children to play on because it has ruts in it, etc. The kindergarten, there is not a playground that is adequate as far as I'm concerned after going and looking at it. And so we need to do some things to bring that school up so that Wish Charter School can continue in a good facility. We need the site at where Wish operates on now, on the Wright Middle School, for the overflow of students from Playa Vista. Both from the standpoint there is not enough room, but because if you look at what Ms. Tokes is going to share with you, our expansion of Playa Vista, that we are going to need to put some portable buildings on that campus during this transition while we build classrooms. I've been asked the question, why are you not building all of the classrooms on the Playa Vista site? If you were to go and walk the campus with me, I would show you that based on what the parents have done at Playa Vista in creating outdoor education spaces which are wonderful, that there is not enough outdoor space from my standpoint and from the state standpoint for outdoor motor development activities for a school of approximately between 700 to 800. I believe that we can have a program that services the Westchester area of elementary schools and has a program that will be the quality that everybody wants at Wright Middle School for the elementary. I'm suggesting moving the adult education from Emerson to Westchester. We believe we can get all of them on. Remember, they were once at Westchester. So I'm moving them back there. I am not sure that I can accommodate all of them on the Westchester site. I may need 7 other rooms, but it is important. But I won't know that until we look at the projections of Westchester High School a little later. I'm not worried about a bifurcated campus. I know some of them are. I believe that we can deal with 5 to 7 classrooms at another site in the Westchester area if we need to. But it would be my additional plan and my recommendation that we move the entire adult education to Westchester. Okay, so I've covered Playa Vista. I've covered Wright. I've covered some of the other elementaries feeding into Wright Middle School. I've talked about WISH and its location, and I've talked about adult education. I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Tokes. I want you to know I have several other meetings going on, so if you want me to come back and you want to ask me questions or take me to the woodshed, whichever one, all you have to do is tell Mark and I will come back downstairs after she makes her presentation and after you've had the opportunity to hear the speakers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Superintendent.
Superintendent, just a moment, if I could ask you to wait for a moment. I know you have some other meetings, but I just wanted to express my appreciation as chair of the BOC for the marvelous work that you have done in the last year since you've been you stepped in a very crisis fraught situation to take charge. You did that in a very impressive way. You brought things under control, and particularly from our perspective, you have established and maintained a fine working relationship with the Bond Oversight Committee. We are pleased to have been to have supported the initiatives that you put forward, and thank you very much for your service, and thank you for staying around for a few extra minutes so that we could express that at this meeting.
Good morning. I'm here to follow up on the facilities components that will support this Playa Vista area enrollment plan. There are 3 parts to this. The first part is a 4 classroom addition project that will accommodate all of the kindergarten through third grade students that we anticipate will be needed for the Playa Vista area. This will provide approximately over 100 seats, and the proposed project is anticipated to begin construction in the second quarter of 2018 to be completed in 2020. And the project budget is approximately $7.6 million. We will be working closely with that school site as we look to develop this project. There are 2 different options of how they can be developed, and currently this scope of work includes converting an existing library, which is adjacent to the kindergarten playground, into 2 kindergarten rooms, and the replacement with a new library and 2 more classrooms to bring the combined net total to 4 classrooms. In addition, as the superintendent mentioned, we also are going to be making investments into Wright Middle School to support the 3 programs that are anticipated to be operated at Wright. So this would include upgrading up to 5 existing classrooms to flexible learning science laboratories that would support both the 4th and 5th grade Playa Vista program and the 2 6th through 8th grade programs. The exact location of these rooms has yet to be determined. That would be coordinated with the principals of that school site as well as the users. The scope of work, though, that we used is based on an assumption that we would be using the larger classrooms that that school site has and furnishing and equipping these new classrooms with demonstration tables, sinks, flexible lab stations, new power outlets, paint, flooring, finishes, window blackout shading, and also necessary ADA upgrades. This proposed project would be anticipated to begin construction activities in the fourth quarter of 2017 to be completed by the second quarter of 2018. And that proposed project budget is estimated to be $2.5 million. And lastly, to undertake environmental feasibility studies of the use of the Westchester Emerson Community Adult School site, which was formerly a closed elementary school site, for the use of K through 12, and there are environmental due diligence studies that are required in order to make sure that that site is feasible. And it's $200,000 is anticipated for that purpose.
Okay, does that conclude the staff presentation? Yes. Okay, I'm going to mix things up a little bit, or change things around a little bit, and I'm going to ask to hear from the public first, and then have questions from here. So there's a number of public speakers, so for that reason, we're going to need to limit your time to a minute each. And I'm also going to give out the names of the people, so maybe you guys, the order we're going to do, so you can get in line, and that'll help us make it go a little faster. And if I botch your name, just forgive me. The first speaker is Amir Zagros, followed by Diane Harris, followed by Heather Ward. Any of those three people here? This might go faster than we think. Okay. After that, we have Louis Maggiato. All right. I guess you're number one. Then Siobhan Spencer, Julie Kwong, and Lynn Katoka. I'm trying to mangle some of those. Louis, right there.
Of course, I have to go first. First of all, I want to say thank you to the committee for being here today and coming with a great desire to implement change. I also must say thank you to Mr. Cortines, who was just here and spoke so eloquently. Because when I came into this meeting, I had angst. I was carrying a little bit of disappointment with me and concern. But when he spoke so eloquently with the understanding of what needs to be done and what has been not done for so long, I have hope. So I'm excited now to have hope, and I hope that you take this great desire with which you're here and implement change. Because we have a very short time to implement this change, but it can be done. Some of the things that Mr. Cortines said, I just want to sort of reiterate that LAUSD has been disappointing a lot of these kids in the Westchester Orville Wright School for a long time. And there needs to be change within this community so we can all work together and help these children.
Can you wrap it up?
And just it's really vital to make these decisions now.
Thank you.
Because we have no time. Thank you.
All right, the next one I have is Siobhan Spencer. Sorry, did I skip somebody? Oh, okay. I called Louis and him up. Okay. Could you tell me what your name
was Louis.
Well, I didn't know. You never know.
My name is.
Go ahead.
Very briefly, I'm a member of the Playa Vista community, and I am in support of this. And I want to just, what buried within here, this proposal, from our perspective, from my personal perspective, is we are essentially creating a new middle school, a middle school that I have faith I would choose. I have a middle schooler now who was incidentally turned down by Wish because they are so popular, and we deemed Orville Wright not adequate to educate our child. So we carpool with 3 other 6th graders who all are in the Orville Wright area to another charter school. I have 2 younger children. I would love the option to send them to a quality middle school And I have faith that the community of Playa Vista Elementary, which is essentially going to grow the school with LAUSD, with their strong curriculum development with LMU, is a school that I would send my kids to, my 2 younger kids. So I see this as an incredible opportunity to finally have a neighborhood middle school that is successful. Thank you.
Excuse my notes. My name is Siobhan Spencer. I'm a 4-year Playa Vista resident and mother to a 3-year-old girl whose interests I'm here to represent today. The reality that we must deal with is that Playa Vista is here. It's literally growing every day. My own home stands along with at least 65 others where there was a vacant lot just a year and a half ago. Do you know who lives in those other 65 houses? I do. They are my neighbors, my friends. Majority-wise, they are young couples planning on starting a family soon, or young families with 1 to 2 or 3 children, potentially planning to have more. There are wealth reasons we decided to buy homes in Playa Vista that go beyond the obvious amenities that the community offers. However, I'm quite confident that one of the top reasons, if not the top reason, is Playa Vista Elementary School. I'm going to skip through, obviously. So you can imagine the frustration we had when we found out that about the capacity issues at PVES, and that some of the potential issues or potential solutions would exclude us from sending our children there. We are voting in favor of this, hoping that you vote in favor of this plan. Thank you very much.
First of all, thank you to the committee for considering this. Can you click now? Thank you. Thank you to the committee for considering this proposal, and to Superintendent Cortines. I've been a Playa Vista resident for 12 years, and I have 2 children at the school, a kindergartner and a 2nd grader. I wanted to tell you how amazing this school is. Playa Vista Elementary was envisioned to be a STEM demonstration school model with Loyola Marymount University, and it was envisioned to be that several years ago, and I'm here to tell you today it has come to fruition. The challenges we're dealing with today is basically because of an increase in development of 6,000 residents coming into phase 2, as well as families moving into the community for a highly sought after program at Playa Vista Elementary. We can no longer serve all these children. We do not want to turn a single child away from the school. So we really are asking for your support so that we can expand the elementary school as well as move forward in a positive way for the middle school and expand our demonstration school model. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. My name is Karen Follett. I'm a resident, I'm a resident of Westchester. My child is at Kentwood on an IEP, and he's doing very well. My daughter has done well at Kentwood, is now accelerating at Wright Middle School STEAM Magnet. She's pushing 30 to 40 points away from the top on the performance chart in the last school test. So I just want everyone here to know that all of the teachers and all of the schools are working really hard, but what I feel constantly happens is that Wright Middle School STEAM Magnet is not getting the attention that it needs to have a competing middle school on our campus. It's bifurcating our community. We have a great middle school there that you all have put together to be a neighborhood school, and we are supporting it. There's a huge group of parents moving from Kentwood and Paseo and Loyola to move their kids to Wright. We can work together. Also, I must say that you're not talking about any of the permitted kids. There was no translation needed at the meeting the other night, which tells me that there's a problem. We do have a diverse community, and those permits are important. 30% Westchester Playa, 30% Playa Vista, 30% permits. Feels fair. Involve us, please.
Hello, my name is Lynn Katoken. I'm a resident of Playa Vista, and just briefly, we just wanted to show a support of the Playa Vista families that are here to support this bond measure. Can you please stand? Thank you. I'm just going to make this brief. I have a 4th and 5th grade child, so this is an urgent need for me
in my family, we have choices. We have charter choices. We have moving out of the district choices. There's a lot of choices for us. And we choose LAUSD and we choose a pathway for our school and for our children. So please consider this. And it's a very exciting time for us. It's very nerve-wracking for a lot of our neighboring communities, but we can all work together and make this work. Thank you very much.
Mona Navarro, followed by Winnie Licht, Gregory Power, Darren Nebasar.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mona Navarro. I am so grateful to the committee to see us today. I am a renter. I am Latina, and I'm incredibly proud of this school. I have owned property in this development before it was all dirt. And I have been really concerned about sending my child here because it was an LAUSD school. I apologize to LAUSD because I had no idea something as wonderful as this could be developed. And the outreach to Westchester and to Playa del Rey is just an expansion of something that is really wonderful, that Playa Vista, Westchester, and Playa del Rey can continue to build collectively. This is a neighborhood school. One of the foundational components of our STEM program are the science labs. And they're really state-of-the-art, and they're really wonderful. And we put a lot of our parent time and energy into these facilities and being present on the campus itself during these projects. Currently, they do not exist at Orville Wright. When we talk about the problems and the lacking problems at Orville Wright, this is one of the key components to our STEM program, are these various science labs and the various things they do. And thank you for your time, and I hope you can pass it on. Thank you.
Thank you. Winnie Licht.
Hi, I'm a parent of a 5th grader in Playa Vista Elementary, and we've been touring a lot of the local middle school. And right now we're faced with the option of choosing charter schools, private school, or even moving out of the district. The idea of a neighborhood middle school for anyone that live in Westchester, Playa del Rey, and Playa Vista, it's really our top choice. It allows us to stay together as a community and also start a new school together. So we're very grateful for it. Thank you very much.
Gregory Power, followed by Darren Nebasar.
Good morning. My name is Gregory Power. I live at 5801 Kiat Way, Playa Vista, California, 90094. I am the Assistant Regional Commissioner of AYSO Region 7 and the Assistant Athletic Director at Lycée Français de Los Angeles, a nonprofit private school. Lastly, I'm also an original stakeholder at Playa Vista from 2003 and the president of the Tapestry Maintenance Corporation, which is a sub-association within Playa Vista. I am not against the proposal on its face at all. I have ancillary issues. However, I have great concern should the district attempt to deviate from the easement provided it for Playa Vista Elementary School. During regular school days, during regular school hours of 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. to the soccer field adjacent to it within the sports park at Playa Vista. This field, which is the only regulation-sized soccer field in Playa Vista, has become an intricate part of the community, serving not only the 2 users besides myself that I represent here, but a plethora of others, including Playa Vista Elementary. As such, any attempt by the district to expand beyond the aforementioned terms that the easement provided it would generate enormous ill will towards the district and potential legal action, neither of which is desired by the district, I am sure, nor any other party concerned.
I need you to wrap up.
Yes, keep the soccer field in the sports park at Playa Vista open and accessible to the outside users during regular school days, during the week, after 2:30 p.m., and all day on holidays and weekends, and seek alternative means, if necessary, for any after-school programs that may exist, albeit not requiring the use of a regulation-sized soccer field. Thank you very much.
Shannon Feast. Are you Darren?
I'm Darren Ann Nevisar, yes.
I made a mistake before, so I just didn't want to.
No, you got it right. Good morning. I'm a Playa Vista resident and I'm a parent of 2 children who attend Playa Vista Elementary School. First of all, I would like to thank LAUSD and in particular Superintendent Cortines for their comprehensive proposal that includes establishing a neighborhood middle school that will serve the local communities. I would like to express my strong support for this proposal and emphasize the need for a cohesive K-12 option for the community. Our stakeholder group is highly motivated to make this project a successful partnership with LAUSD. The expansion of the Playa Vista Elementary School and creation of a neighborhood middle school attended by local resident children is a wonderful opportunity to provide a quality, innovative public school education for the children in our local neighborhoods. This plan also presents a solution to the immediate problem of overcrowding at Playa Vista Elementary School. In addition to the desperate need for a viable school from an educational standpoint, this community middle school is also sound financial policy. Based upon the proposal's projections, the large number of anticipated families who will avail themselves of the community middle school will generate yearly revenue for LAUSD in excess of $7 million, thereby repaying the bond amount used to implement this project in less than 2 years. I hope that the Playa Vista and neighboring communities will be able to realize our vision for a quality, innovative public school education for all local children, and that we can count on your support for this very exciting proposition. Thank you.
Thank you. Lee Allen Kaufman, followed by Shannon Feast, followed by Alex Stein.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for hearing us today, and I think you can hear that we're all very excited about this proposal. I have a first grader and I have a 3-year-old, and a little disappointing at first to know that it's proposed that my first grader will only be there till the 3rd grade, but very exciting to know that there is a possible middle school pathway for us. I guess what I wanted to bring to light was Superintendent Cortines said something about declining enrollment at Orville Wright, and I think Playa Vista is the perfect solution to that. That is our natural pathway. So I feel like if you build it, we will come. If we do not get that opportunity, Playa Vista residents will move. We will seek education through charters or private schools. My other question is that I have a little guy, and I want to know about how he will be able to have space at the school across the street from where we live. Will it be a lottery? Will it be first come, first serve? Will one phase of Playa Vista have priority over another? These are the questions that we face, and we're hoping you can find and support this solution for. Thank you.
Thank you. Shannon Feast, followed by Alex Stein, followed by Daphne Bishop.
Hi, I am a mother of 2 children. One that's currently attending Playa Vista Elementary School is a 2nd grader. I also have a middle schooler who did attend Playa Vista when it first opened, and that was 2 years ago. He graduated, and unfortunately, his graduating class, none of the kids went to the same school. They pretty much all dispersed and went to different schools, and also none of the kids matriculated into Oversight Middle School. They went off into charters and other schools and programs. This has been a challenge for my 7th grader because he's been kind of bounced around trying to find different schools that are a good fit for him. We applied for charters in the area and we didn't get in. He's currently going to LA Unified Pilot School, which we're happy about. But this opportunity that's coming up for us to possibly have a middle school and extend the current education that my 2nd grader is getting at Playa Vista School is very exciting for me. And it's a breath of fresh air because it's really been a chess game trying to find a good school and applying for magnets and not having enough points in charter schools. So it's really refreshing to find that we have an opportunity to create a neighborhood school for my 2nd grader to eventually matriculate into. And he's going to be able to go for it with the same friends that he's had since kinder, which I'm happy of because the social development is very important, I think, for children in the learning environment. So I really appreciate you giving some consideration, and it will be great for our children and the community.
Thank you. Alex Stein, followed by Daphne Bishop, followed by Felicia, can't read that, Villarreal. Thank you.
Hi to the committee. Thank you very much for having us today. Thank you to Superintendent Cortines for his words. I'd like to talk a little bit about Playa Vista as a community. We have basically, as you may have heard, sort of two phases. The first phase has home to about 6,000 residents. Phase 2 is anticipated to have just about the same amount. Playa Vista probably was not anticipated to be a young family development when it was first envisioned, but that's what it has become, largely because of the school and what's become the school. The community has shown that they believe in public education, they want to support it, they believe in a strong neighborhood school, and they want to continue that program, but we just don't have the room right now. And we're hopeful that this bond and the plans that it encompasses will allow us not only to include all residents of Playa Vista, but provide them a pathway through 8th and hopefully through 12th grade to reward that investment in public school and to help us create the program that is a demonstration for public schools throughout the district. Creating curriculum, we have a curriculum writer who is creating a STEM program that can be exported to any public elementary school that wants to use it. So we are partners with the district. We look forward to your support.
Thank you. Daphne Bishop, followed by Felicia Villarreal, Jessica Farmer, and Ellen Prince.
Hi there, I'm Felicia Villarreal. Daphne's going to pass and I'm going to speak above us. I am a parent at Wish Charter, and I do want to say I was a founding office manager, a founding parent, and when we started the school it was a white building. And so I took care of facilities and operations, so I understand the complexities of facilities, and I understand the complexities of starting a school in a community. I gave up my role a year ago because I was working 16 hours a day and through weekends, and I needed to be a mother and pay attention to my children because they were also there 16 hours a day. My point being, when we started WISH, it was an exciting time. We had a vision of including all children and teaching people the amazing opportunities are when you start a community that all people belong all the time. So the other night, like I said, I've taken a year off. I went and I've gone to both of the community meetings, and I was so inspired by going. I wanted to get back in a little bit and be a part. I know there's a lot of concern in the community about this being a scary thing, or there being division or something like that. But I think this is an incredible opportunity to make an enormous difference. I think that there is room for everyone. I think that the Westchester area is incredible because you have such a dense group of parents that are so committed to education. They're so passionate about education that want to build public education, and I'm inspired by that. I think it is fantastic. I'm inspired that everybody is going to these meetings together. I'm amazed at LAUSD's commitment coming into the community and speaking to everybody as a whole with that transparency and that commitment to everybody and showing that everybody's vision is important, that charters are important, that these pilots are important, that public schools are important. And I think we all need to take a minute, and again, I understand the facilities perspective, I understand collaborating with LAUSD, I understand the difference of us being charter. I'm going to be really, really, really fast. I'm sorry, it's super important. Okay. So my point being, when we were given our first site, we were given Playa Vista, and we were super excited about that, and we were super excited to collaborate. Being a new school, and we had to build our school and show people that inclusion was a valuable and a fantastic philosophy, and we've been able to do that. So the door has always been open to collaborate. When we wanted to start a middle school, we came to LAUSD, and we were initially approved as a pilot program, and we wanted to collaborate with Orville Wright Middle School so we could work together as a community to help build the school, but that wasn't able to fall into place in time, so we were granted a charter. So we have begun to develop that because our inclusion philosophy is important. And we started that not just to create a school, one school, but to teach everybody and open our doors for everybody to come in and see that inclusion is a viable option and it is important. So it's not just a school, but a mission to teach inclusion. So my point is, coming to these meetings, I'm super excited and fascinated because you have all these people and everybody wants the same thing. And I think we have an opportunity here as LAUSD to say, we are going to all work together. We're going to work together as charters, we're going to work together as public schools, and we're going to work together as local schools and pilots, and put everybody together. Okay. Anyway, the point is, you could put all three of them on a middle school, let them collaborate together, all three of them on an elementary school location, let them collaborate together. But take this opportunity to bring your community together and make a difference. It's going to show everybody across the country how to teach people to collaborate and work together and not be divisive. Thank you.
Okay, Jessica Armour and Ellen Prince.
Hello, good morning. Thank you, LAUSD. My name is Jessica Armour. My daughter Emily attends Playa Vista Elementary School. We've been residents in the community for 7 years, and she is now in first grade. She did kindergarten first and now second. She's an overachiever, and I basically put that towards the community-based schooling. I'm able to participate in her education during the time that she's there on campus. I can basically come over there and participate in her daily activity, as well as when she comes home, I have the time for us to do a lot of homework, and then also to have community time with our family and friends afterwards. So I basically support the move to have a community school, and also to keep the community together. It's very important. Thank you so much.
Good morning. I'm Ellen Prince. I've been a Playa Vista resident since 2008. I actually left the neighborhood for 18 months because of a law case that an LA Superior Commissioner actually said that any private school in Los Angeles is better than any LAUSD school. So my 15-year-old stepson is now at a private school up in Sherman Oaks. When my now kindergarten was about to start school, we made a decision as a family that it was time to move back to Playa Vista. This is a community that will never allow any commissioner in this state to ever say that an LAUSD school is better than any private school in Los Angeles. This is a community that sticks together, that knows what a neighborhood is. And this is why we moved back, and this is why I ask you to please consider that so that it would never happen again. Thank you.
We have one last speaker, Mia Gorman. Last speaker on this. I don't know. I lied, but Mia is the next one. Go ahead.
Hi, thank you for your time. My name is Mia Gorman. I'm Benjamin's mom. He's running for president of the United States, and he's 5. And he's got a few endorsements. I am here because it's very important to me that Benjamin has a sense of community and that he understands that to get along with everyone. And my biggest concern is that we don't have a robust plan that is really truly including everyone. I'm also a business owner, and I believe that if I don't have diversity in my staff, I can't be competitive and I can't be innovative. And I believe that Los Angeles is supposed to be innovative. I also believe in there being some consistency and some continuity in regards to stability for my son so that he can reach his full potential. So therefore, I wholeheartedly support the plan to make it so that he's in a situation where he can have some continuity, some stability, and some support from the community.
And Olga, and I'm not going to even try the last name. Is there something? Okay, it's a lot of consonants.
I have Izzy, who attends Playa Vista. She's a 5th
stay together as a big group and a community. And that's it. I love it.
So that concludes the public comment portion of this. So I'd like to open up to questions from, or comments from the group here. Barry?
Well, I just need to make a sort of a very general comment that excuse me, I hear a lot of, well, gee, I can't send my kid to an LAUSD school, and this sort of, I dare say, foolishness. I have my son, well, my sons both went to magnet schools in San Pedro, and elementary school, middle school, and high school were all split campuses that included at least one magnet and a local school, which worked out great. So they had a lot of diversity there. They had diversity in not just in terms of how kids looked, but also, I heard that class issue come up earlier. And my sons did great, and they did not do better than their colleagues. All the kids there, in general, did quite well. And I have my older son is finishing graduate school now at USC in civil engineering. My younger son, I have a year and a half more tuition at University of Colorado, go Buffs, and where he's doing fine art and architecture together because of the tremendous background that he got in LAUSD schools. And that wasn't even part of the magnet program, that art program he did. So just that, don't believe everything you read, don't believe everything you see on TV when it comes to this school stuff. It's just that level of foolishness just drives me crazy. The opportunity, it sounds like, that we have here to provide for a continuation opportunity for a very healthy elementary school community, and so now we need to step it up with the middle school community to match that, which middle school is the toughest years anyway, so I certainly can support that. And then the high school to support it seems very logical, so I certainly support the overall concept of what we want to do. We want to be careful, we want to be inclusive in real terms of actually involving people instead of, okay, well, here's the plan we came up with, what do you think? What do y'all think? No, it's got to be, here's what we have, how can we make this work? And to develop consensus. And I think that's really vital. I hear a real, sounds like to me a commitment from the people here to do that, who have different viewpoints, which I don't hear anything mutually exclusive about what people are asking for. So, and I think the district certainly is sensitive to that. The staff that we work with on a regular basis, I mean, the parents may not, but we do, and we hear how much they care, and they really do try to work it out. So I think we can make this work. If I hear one more person say, oh, you can't send your kids to LAUSD schools, you got to give them a real education. Okay.
All right. Does anyone have any questions of staff, or do we want to move into discussion before we get to discussion? You have a question? Okay. Gwen?
Comment first. So thank you for everyone for being here. And I echo a lot of what Barry says, that we represent all kinds of students in this extremely diverse school district, and there are many different needs, and no one size fits all. But sometimes the amazing schools are the best kept secrets. And as a parent of children who, we commute 30 to 60 minutes each way for them to go to one of these best kept secret schools, I applaud your, commitment to making sure that you have, expanded access to that in your local elementary school, and that you have a progression moving forward. And I look forward to seeing you, if necessary, advocate for a high school that your children can move on to. So having said that, we did get an email with some questions and concerns about this measure, and I think I know the answer to most of these, but one of them I would just like to seek some clarification from staff on. which is the concern about who would have access to the expanded classes at Wright. And my understanding, and this question specifically addresses the new 4th, 5th, and 6th grades, but my understanding is that 4th, 6th, 5th, and 6th grade is basically the second off-site portion of Vista. Now, what I would like to ask staff is, for any of the other students coming from the other 4 or 5 elementary schools in this area, would there be enough room in the main campus of Wright for them if they choose to go to Wright, after this plan is complete? Would there be, like, if 100% of the feeder elementary schools decided to go to Wright, would there be room for them? Because right now we're losing about 50%.
Good morning. I'm Jan Davis. I'm the Administrator of Operations for Local District West, where all these schools reside. And yes, for next year, for 16, 17, 4, 5, and 6 will just be Playa Vista students. But the magnet, the Wright magnet, that's doing quite well. People are applying. They went through choices, so people are applying. They've increased their capacity already. And we hope that will continue to grow. And then we will be, Local District West will be working with the other feeder elementary schools to develop a comprehensive program that all of the citizens of Westchester, Playa del Rey, and Playa Vista, will have the opportunity to send their children to.
Great. Thank you for clarifying that.
Also, this email we got was more like civic infrastructure. So, we've heard about soccer fields and things of that nature and traffic. What's happening for education and communication? What's happening in that overall area if this were to move forward?
You mean in the Wright community or
Yeah.
Playa Vista?
Both, actually.
Well, Playa Vista, we've had numerous meetings. We had a meeting just like this past Monday. Those community meetings will continue. We had a preliminary meeting. We had a community meeting back in April of 2015. And so we're doing a series of community meetings. As we have more definitive answers, we will continue to update the community. We will put together a task force with stakeholders we heard a lot about Playa Vista Elementary School, but those other feeders, Kentwood, Loyola Village, with parents and community members of those schools to get involved in the planning stages also for the anticipated 17 to 18 actually opening of this new program.
And the impact on this soccer field?
The soccer field is, actually I'll have Krisztina, that's part of Playa Vista, and how I understand it is there is an agreement. I mean, Krisztina might be able to answer a few more questions on that because there is a dual use agreement on that.
There is a current easement over the soccer field, which allows the district to have exclusive use of the soccer field during school hours, and then it reverts to the community during non-school hours, and we are not changing that as part of this plan in any way.
So there's no impact, that would stay open and they have the same access they have now?
It's the same access is provided under the current easement, and moving forward, we're not anticipating any changes.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions or comments? Okay, I think we moved on to comments, so Stuart, comment away.
Well, I think maybe to start, I just want to thank all the parents and community members who are here today. Your participation in our kids' education is the only thing that is going to make the education work for them. So I applaud that and urge you to continue doing that. A couple of thoughts. I mean, the plan seems very complex, a lot of moving parts. So, and way beyond my purview. It's really about kind of the pedagogical kind of success of different schools and how to make it all work. And so I don't have much light to shed on it, but I am encouraged that I think everybody here essentially spoke in favor of the plan, which I was not expecting. So that's encouraging to me, at least. The one thing that I am concerned about, and I think would probably be echoed by everybody who's spoken from the public, the current Playa Vista Elementary School is from an architectural point of view, is a real good project. It's a new school. It's a highly sustainable school. It's going to be rated by a group called LEAD shortly in the operations category, which means when it's actually being used, which is where a lot of sustainable projects fall flat. They forecast certain metrics that they can't meet in use. This school is exceeding them. So that's really exciting. And it kind of points to a confluence of good design, good participation, good teaching, all leading to a great school. And those things are how you get good education. So I really want to keep the district under pressure to execute the addition at Playa Vista at the highest quality to maintain what we've got. I get very nervous when I hear that the library is being demolished, and I hate seeing libraries going missing. So hopefully that library will be, it will be maintained somehow during the construction process. But I just want to make sure that we hold on to what we have from a design point of view, so that the educational results that we're getting at this school can continue. And then last, on a personal note, my kids were both educated at Open Magnet Charter, which is basically the same community as Orville Wright and Playa Vista. My daughter's now at Palms Magnet, which is a fantastic option for anybody who doesn't have an option in middle school, and they also have a non-magnet option for non-neighborhood kids. So I would definitely think about Palms as an option for those of you who are, if you don't have space wherever the next spot is. It's a fantastic school. And I hope all this goes well. I'm excited about the energy in this room, so may it continue.
Krisztina, did you want to, I think there might have been a misunderstanding about this.
I wanted to provide a clarification that we're not looking to demolish the library, and that only we would look at the option of reconfiguring it into kindergarten spaces if that is determined to be the appropriate plan. But I wanted to make sure that folks in the audience did not think that we were going to demolish their library anytime soon. Thank you.
Were there any other comments? I would just say that if the decision were in front of us to whether or not we need to create what I would call another neighborhood school at Orville Wright, at this point my decision would be no. I live in the area. It was a neighborhood school, then it was a neighborhood magnet, and it became a magnet only. I haven't really heard why creating another neighborhood school there would somehow get people to come. I'm hopeful that's true, but we've been through so many iterations, and I've only lived there 14 years, and I haven't heard the justification as to why that would happen, especially if it's going to be a STEM-focused neighborhood school at a location that has a STEAM magnet. But that isn't the decision in front of us. It's a decision to support the facilities plan to support the educational decision is not in front of us. It is the facilities decision that is in front of us, and so that is what I'm focusing on. And I would remind, and I'm sure everybody here knows, that if you live in the attendance area, you can go to Orville Wright Magnet. You have to fill out the paperwork, but you're automatically in. So that is what most of us whose kids go to Kentwood and Loyola Village consider our neighborhood school. So if anyone else, do we have a motion to approve the item?
Move to approve resolution 2015-44.
Second, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions?